We are here at the House That Never Slumbers, and we have a desperate situation going on with the socks right now. We have several laundry baskets here of mismatched socks, and the socks are always an issue for us here because there's so many of us living here, and I hate matching them, so I put it off until I absolutely have to do it. But this week all the men have informed me that they do not have matched socks in their drawers, and that's a problem for them. Usually if the girls don't have matches, they just come in here and they just look through the basket until they find socks that match and they put them on. But the men, I don't think they're able to do that because they probably come in here and they're just man looking and can't find the sock that matches anyway. But so we need to clean these socks, and we'd like to get rid of some of the ones that don't have matches, but I'm a hoarder, so we have some problems with that. Some of these socks that don't have matches have been in here for actually years, and I just can't bear to part with them because I think that sock is probably somewhere in somebody's room, just behind a bed or whatever, and we're probably going to find it, and so that keeps me from throwing away the socks, which I know is probably not good, but we've decided we're going to have to deal with this sock situation. For one thing, because we found out that this one has been wearing the same pair of socks all week at school, which is really gross because he goes to basketball, he has PE every day, he goes to cross country, and he was wearing the same pair of socks. So that's really disgusting, and I'm sure no one else really liked the smell of that. So we're going to deal with these socks. Hopefully we're going to deal with them better than we've been dealing with them any other time. We sometimes sit them in this room and they sit here for a while because we don't really use this room. It's supposed to be a formal living room, but we have a family room on the other side of the house, and we have like a game area in the basement. So this room it's sort of up for grabs for whatever projects we have going on. And like last year, all year, it was the wedding room, and so there's still some of the remnants of the wedding stuff are still on this shelf. It looks much better than it did because it was just covered and actually stuff was going out into all the other areas of the house. We also have, this is what should be our dining room, but it mostly just gets used as our school room where the girls do school. They either sit at the table, usually when they're doing their scriptures and things like that, they sit at the table, and then if they're doing other work, they tend to sit on these couches if they're not covered with like laundry or socks. And one of the reasons I need to take care of this sock situation is because I really need this area so that I can throw all of the clean laundry here and fold it, because a lot of times that's what this couch gets used for. So instead of that building up in the laundry room, I would rather bring it in here so that it's not in the way and fold it on these couches. And really, I would rather just put big wardrobes in here and keep everyone's clothes in this room and have a clothing room, but the other people in this house don't think that I should use this as a clothing room. They think it should stay a living room that we don't use as a living room. So here's our socks, and we're gonna start working on this, and then we will probably update our progress, and if we don't make progress, we won't update because then we'll be too embarrassed that we weren't able to get this situation under control. This one is always jumping on this trampoline, and I don't know why this table is here. Not really sure why this table is still here. We got the other table because when we were cleaning out my grandparents' estate, we got the really nice wood table, and the other table used to be there, but we've been using it for projects, so it's sort of stayed in here. And yeah, it's been used as some kind of like bed here. I don't know. I'm not sure why it's still here, but we really need to get a lot of things out of this room instead of just leaving them here. But especially, we're gonna get rid of these socks. We're gonna deal with them, and hopefully I'm gonna be able to throw away some of the really old ones. I have a lot of problems with that because I tend to be a hoarder, and I think we're gonna find these socks one day. I think they've got it like the match has to be in somebody's room. Maybe the match is like in so, you know, behind someone's bed, or maybe the match is in the corners of their closet, and I think, oh, that sock's gonna turn up, so I shouldn't throw away this sock that's been in this laundry basket for 10 years. So we just keep keeping it, and it stays in there, which that makes the whole situation more overwhelming, because then it gets mixed in with the ones that actually do have matches. And we need to find a good system. We've tried a lot of things through the years. We've tried marking with our initials, and we've tried marking with numbers, and none of that has worked. But we're going to try to get a handle on this and get it under control. Which is like that one too. These are all different socks, but they're kind of similar. That makes it very hard to sort these socks. And then you also have these socks. These kind of socks are these Nike Elites.
Yeah.
These socks, they're Nike Elites, okay? These socks are like somewhere from $15 to $18 a pair. And that is what makes it really hard for me to just throw away one of these socks if I don't have the other match, because I cannot stand the thought of throwing away half of a pair of socks that's $15 to $18 a pair. And personally, I would never ever buy socks that are that expensive, but a lot of times they've been socks that like one of the kids' teams got as team socks, and so everyone had to buy the $20 pair of socks, and I think that's ridiculous. We could just go to Walmart and get a pair of, you know, white tube socks, and everyone could wear those. That's what I would do if I had my way, but sometimes these teams like to match.
Beautifully done.
Is that a match?
Yeah.
All right, we do have a match. We have a match. Do you have a match?
They're all different.
Nope. See, we have
No, they aren't. Here's
like
the
all
match
these
to two of
neon.
these.
Oh, we do have matches
Okay.
to some.
Yep,
So
there's a match
at
to
least
two of
that's
those.
good. We do have some matches.
Oh, it's this one. Okay. Oh,
No, it's different.
oh, okay.
See, that's the trouble. The socks,
They're the same color.
They're close, but no cigar on some of these socks, and that drives me crazy. That's what makes it so difficult to sort all these socks.
Those are both mine.
Okay, we are making some progress here. These are all matches. He's been working on his and his brother-in-law's socks right here, and he's doing a good job, making lots of progress. I'm not really sure what we're going to do once all these socks are matched, because like all the drawers that would hold the socks or the baskets in their rooms, this is probably going to fill those up, and then we're not going to know what to do, because where are we going to put all these socks once they're all matched? She really likes those socks. But I wanted to show you something with these socks. These socks right here, they have now right foot, and then there should be a left foot, but there's not one with these, so that's part of the problem. But when did socks get to be right and left? When I was a kid, there were not socks for the right foot and socks for the left foot. You just put a sock on a foot, and it worked either way. But now, these companies, these athletic socks, have decided that they have to have a sock that's a right foot and a sock that's a left foot. And so then, you know, normally I could match that sock with whichever sock, but now I have to find the one that's the left sock, because the kids think that they need to have the right one and the left one instead of just putting two rights on their foot. It shouldn't really matter, but
Why do we still have Elmo?
it's now been about 24 hours, and this is all the farther that we've gotten. The kids did go through and take out the matches that were really easy to find, the socks that were unique, so it was easy to find the match on those. But now we're just down to this, and now I'm going to have to step in and start doing the serious sorting to figure out what socks go together. If you have a big daunting task like these socks that you have to work on, I highly recommend binge watching on Netflix, because sometimes it might actually make you look forward to having to sit there and fold the socks that you otherwise would not want to sit and fold. And I don't normally watch a lot of Netflix necessarily on my own, but when I have to fold laundry or socks, it's a good thing to have. So the Netflix is frozen, I don't know, loading or something, and we don't really have that great of internet out here, so that happens a lot. So I thought I'd take a minute to let you see the progress. We've got all of these different piles of socks that we're kind of putting into little sock families. of ones that are similar, and then we can narrow that down and try to find the right matches later. Let's talk about a couple of odd socks we still have. These socks, they're One Direction socks, because there was a time when the one that's married now was a little obsessed with One Direction. I'm not sure why we still have them. I mean, does anyone even listen to One Direction now? Are they still in existence? I don't even know. So I think they are probably, these ones we'll probably keep. This one doesn't have a match. We'll probably go ahead and get rid of that one, but the little girls still wear this pair, so we'll throw it in their pile. We also have a sock here. Look at this sock. This is obviously for a toddler. I don't know why we still have this sock. We haven't had a toddler in like 8 years, so it's probably time to put that sock in the scrap pile. We have some other socks here. These are my husband's socks. Look at these socks. These are some really bad socks. Do we need to keep these socks? I don't know. They have matches and they don't have holes, but look at how dirty these are. This is because we're at the ballpark a lot, and then the socks get really disgusting. That one has a bad hole, so it's definitely going into the scrap pile. But the other ones, I don't know. They're dirty. Maybe we should talk. I'm here. I'm still matching these socks. I've given up on Netflix. It was never going to load. So much for that idea where Netflix was going to make me actually look forward to matching these socks. So I'm just sitting here in silence, folding the socks. Look, I do have them all sorted into their piles. I'm down to this empty basket. I don't know why there's a Ziploc bag in the basket. I have this one sock here with the dog on it. Let me move this basket. The sock has a little Westie dog on it, and I can't find the other sock, but I'm not supposed to throw this sock away because this sock has Scruffy on it, and Scruffy was Mawmaw's dog, and Mawmaw passed away earlier this year, and Scruffy is now with a cousin, but for some reason there's now an emotional attachment to this sock because of Scruffy being on it. So I'm not allowed to throw away this one sock. And I also found another pair, a whole pair of toddler socks. I'm still not sure why we have toddler socks here. Those should have gone a long time ago. I have this really cute, it's actually a Minnie Mouse sock. That's a toddler sock too. We had it when the youngest was little. She went through a stage where she wanted to be called Minnie Mouse. She didn't know why we didn't name her Minnie Mouse, and for weeks at a time we were supposed to refer to her as Minnie instead of her actual name. We also have this sock, and this sock is made to look like it has laces like a shoe. But it was really cute at the time. Now it just seems really lame, so it's gonna get tossed. We have more of these really, really nasty ballpark socks, and I know I should get rid of these, but they're in perfectly good shape. There's no holes other than just that nasty dirt on the bottom, and then I think if I throw these away, then he's gonna have to wear nice socks to the ballpark, and then those nice socks will just be ruined. So I just keep putting these back in the drawer and hoping that when we go to the ballpark, my husband chooses these same ballpark socks instead of the nice socks to wear. There's another kind of sock I want to talk about, if I can find one of them. It's these little socks. They're really thin socks, and they're no-show socks to go with like Sperry's. But the problem with these is they do not stay together when you can't match them like a normal sock. There's no way for them to stay together, and that really annoys me because then in the drawers, they just want to be sitting in the drawers separate from each other. And that's annoying. But that's the progress we've made. We have all of these socks. They're all sorted into somewhat of a pile with like socks. I do have these that we've been matching as we go, if we find a match. So I have different baskets that are going to go to different people's rooms. So that's where we are. Here we have a pair of Winnie the Pooh socks. They're actually really cute. I've had those, I should probably not admit, I've had those since I was in high school. And I actually had to wear those last week because, of course, we hadn't matched any of these socks. So I was down to just very few socks in my drawer. So I had to wear these. They fold down. See, look. Pooh and Piglet on the socks. Had to wear those last week. Out in public. Okay, I'm still here with all of these socks. I've worked my way through most of the different piles, and this is what I'm left with after matching up the matches that I could find matches for. And I don't want to throw these away quite yet because I still have like laundry in the laundry room, so I need to get the socks out of there and make sure that there's no matches to that. But this is entirely too many. Oh, I wanted to show you these socks. These are the cutest little socks. Look, they're Nike socks, and they have this little fuzzy palm on the back of those. When I was 5, I had socks like this with the fuzzy little palm, and I went to the zoo, and I was standing by this, like, enclosure that had an ostrich in it, and the ostrich reached its little neck right out of the fence, and, like, took this little fuzzy palm right off of my sock at the zoo. So anyway, I have these socks, and my parents bought me those for Christmas a couple years ago. They're some of my favorite socks. And I have several other pairs of them that are not Nike. Another one of these socks with the laces on it to look like a shoe. We're tossing that one. These fuzzy socks here, these have toes on them. And they kind of look like a good idea, but I don't think they actually feel that comfortable. I'm going to toss that one. They were popular a few years back, but I don't know if anyone actually wore them very long. I've kind of gotten to a spot where I'm bored out of my mind, so I think I'm going to call it a night and see if I can work through the rest of the laundry tomorrow and bring the socks from the laundry into here, and hopefully maybe when I come back tomorrow my Netflix might work. I'm not very hopeful on that though. Day 3. Here we are. This is all the farther we've gotten. That basket over there is the ones we're gonna do something with, get rid of. Maybe I'll come back to this later. While I'm here procrastinating on actually taking care of the rest of those socks, I wanted to give you a tour of the laundry room. Here, this is where we sort. We have these 3 cheap dollar store trash cans that we use to sort into whites, darks, and towels. They're sitting on top of an IKEA shelf that has little cubbies, and that's where we keep shoes. Right here you see we have all of this clean laundry sitting on the floor because right now the space where I would normally clean that laundry has been overtaken by those socks, so I haven't been able to fold this laundry. And I know you're thinking, why did you let that laundry go so long? Well, actually all the laundry in the house was cleaned and folded and put away just about 2 days ago. So that's just how much laundry we have here. And actually, that's not even everyone's laundry because the newlyweds have their own dryer downstairs. So theirs goes straight to their dryer and then they fold it downstairs. Their washer's almost hooked up. It's lacking one part. And then they'll have a separate laundry area. But this is just the 5 of us who are living upstairs. This is our laundry. And we do laundry every day because we usually have uniforms that need to be washed. It's just, it doesn't always get folded and put away. Here's our washer and dryer. Right here, shelving. This shelf was not originally in the house. I added this shelf because it came out of one of the kids' closets. I had to move it to make space for something, and so I added it here so we can dry things that are hanging up if we need to. This shelf I made out of mostly pallets and 2x4s. That's because I needed something that was sturdy enough to hold the 5-gallon bucket of detergent that we use. But that's normally how we buy detergent. We're actually out right now. But normally we buy our detergent in 5-gallon buckets, and it's very heavy. So I had to build a shelf that was going to be sturdy enough for that. And our electrical out access is right here. So I had to design the shelf in a way that would let me still have access to the electrical box. Pretty much by myself, with just wood screws, 2x4s, these pallets, and there are a couple of just plain cheap pine boards there, and then that's a pallet on top. But it's a pretty sturdy shelf. So. And if it was somewhere else in the house, I probably would have painted it, but it's just here in our laundry room. Another thing I want to show you is this thing that I made out of, I think they're I think this is 2x1s, pine 2x1s, I don't know, they're maybe 99 cents each. And I've seen a lot of those little sock things that you can put on the wall. I see those on Pinterest, and they say something like singles looking for a mate, and they're very cute. But all of those had about 6 clothespins on those, and we have way more extra socks than that. So I thought I need, 100 clothespins to put those extra socks on. Of course, I did this maybe 5 years ago, and all that's happened is some of these socks have been hanging here for probably 5 years, because now they have a lot of dust on them. But actually, this sock right here, I know, is sitting in that pile on the living room floor. So I'm going to be able to match that, but I'm going to have to wash that sock first because there's a layer of dust on top of it. But this also gives us a nice place to hang other things. Like this is that's a bag that you can put. It's like a reusable zipper pouch for putting food in lunch bags or something, or like little purses and stuff. So we can hang things there if we need to hang them to dry, or we can put the sock singles there. And I'm going to try to do a better job of actually using this after I get this sock situation under control. Also, we have these hanging shoe organizers. We have these in a couple of different spots in our laundry room, and those just came from the dollar store, $1 each. But they're nice. You can put, like here I have a bunch of sponges and things like that in there. I have the little stain stick containers in there. So those are a nice place to just put odds and ends. I have another one on the other wall that I'm not going to show you because there's a big pile of shoes in front of it. But I have another one that has different sized, like, screws and nails and things like that sorted into the different compartments. So here is a bag. That's actually where I put the socks that have holes in them. I will put into that bag, and then that's what I use when I clean the toilets, because I don't like to use a rag that I'm going to have to wash and reuse on the toilets. So I use a sock that has a hole in it, and then I just throw it away when I'm finished using that. This pouch right here, that holds the dryer sheets that have been used, and I'm going to post about that a little later. There are a lot of uses for dryer sheets. I know that sounds like I'm really a hoarder, which I do have some tendencies of that, but there are a lot of uses for dryer sheets. So that is our laundry room. Lots of laundry needs to be folded, but I've got to get those socks taken care of first. We're getting ready to leave to go to a local festival and look at some yard sales. But look at this, I have clean socks on my feet because I was able to go to this pile sitting on the couch and get a pair of my clean socks. So, clean socks, yay. Since my Netflix would never work on the laptop, I've ended up now listening to an ebook from the Kindle, which it reads in a very robotic voice. It's not the greatest, but it's better than nothing. So, listening to that ebook and making some progress, not on the socks really, but I've at least got this laundry pile. I almost have that all folded. so that I can get out the extra pairs of socks that are in there, hopefully find the matches to some of these as we go. And these are the laundry piles. About to get those all finished. Look at this sock. This sock is a sock of a sock monkey. Isn't that just complete irony? Sock monkey sock. I also have a lot of these socks that have the little palm on those. I showed you those ones yesterday that were Nike that my parents had bought me. They probably paid way too much for those, but I found these at this place called JT Mega Discounts that's now out of business, and they were a couple pairs for $1, so that's a much better deal on socks. But I don't have the matching colors. I'm getting ready to just cut the little palms off of all of those because I mostly just wear those around the house anyway. Okay, I wanted to show you that we now have a clean laundry room floor. That whole pile of laundry has been taken in the living room and is being folded. I wanted to show you that these are uniforms. There's a basketball uniform there and there's a cross-country uniform. And uniforms, I don't take to anyone's rooms. I don't bring those out with the rest of the pile to fold. I just pull those out of the laundry as they are finished. A lot of them are not able to, you don't want to dry those because of the silk screening anyway. So sometimes I hang them up here until they're dry and then fold them onto the dryer. And I just leave those there because if not, it seems like we're always trying to dig through everybody's stuff to try to find their uniforms, and it's just easier if whatever uniform's in season, I just put it on the dryer and then the kids can grab it as they're going out the door. That's a much easier way to deal with that. I also wanted to show you the sock thing. I took all the socks off of that and I washed those because they were dusty, so hopefully we have some matches there. But I wanted to show you how this is up here. It's just, there's wood screws holding that into the studs up there, but we had to also build this so that it accommodates the, if you can see that extra, this framing right here, this is the access panel to our hot water heater, and we couldn't just build something on top of that without making sure that we could still get into there. So we can take those screws out of that at the top, and then as you go down, and then it just drops. It drops to the floor, and then we can just kind of see how this lifts off the wall a little bit. We can just let that slide right out of there if we need to get into the water heater. If we really need access, we have to take the whole thing off the wall, which is also, it's just in there with 2 wood screws. So it's not that hard to get off of there if we need to get into the water heater. I would actually love to not have this water heater here. I would like to move the water heater to the basement and put it right beside the water softener, and then that would give me a really nice closet there. And if I had a closet right there, then I would be able to leave everybody's like underwear and socks could just be in sorted bins there, and then I wouldn't have to mess with doing all of that. When I fold the laundry, everybody's stuff could just live there, and maybe some of their clothes too. But for now, we have a water heater there. If we do get one in the basement, we would like that to be a gas water heater, propane, because that would then work in a power outage, and we have been known to have fairly lengthy power outages during ice storms before, so it would be nice. It would be really nice to have a propane water heater, but that involves putting a vent in that would have to run clear to the roof. So to run that from the basement, I don't know, we'd have to put that in a closet or something, and that's kind of a daunting task, so we haven't done that yet. But there's the now much cleaner laundry room. It's now evening of the 3rd day of our little situation with the socks. I did manage to finish all of that laundry. It's all folded. I need to have the kids all come and get their laundry piles and put those away in their rooms. We have as many socks as we could find matches for into each of these baskets. That leaves us all of these still on the floor. There's still some laundry in the washer and dryer that has some of the socks in it, so we're gonna wait on that. I actually sat here on this floor and took a nap while I was waiting on that laundry to come through the washer and dryer. But now I'm going to go get the clean laundry out of the dryer and some of the additional. Okay, this pile of socks right here, these are the ones that have holes in them, and I know you'll say we should throw those away, but we don't throw those away yet because they work great for cleaning things. So what's really nice is you can put this sock right on your hand and then spray it with spray and clean whatever you're going to clean. So I really like these for cleaning the toilets because I like to throw that away after I clean a toilet. I don't like to reuse like a washcloth or whatever. And we also use that for doing stuff like dusting, or that other spray bottle there is vinegar to clean off like TV screens or like glass surfaces. So we have this with this generic pledge, dollar store pledge. So that's really nice. You just use a sock, and then when it's all nasty, I don't even have to clean that. I just throw that away because it was just a sock with a hole in it. Situation, and we've narrowed it down to one full basket of mismatched socks that we are now burning in the bonfire. Please stop doing that dance on the video. We gotta do a video.
No, you got hump.
What? You threw? There was a match in there?
Good job, Krista. 4 days.
4 days and I missed a match. Which match was it? Was it one of my favorites?
I said a real name, I'm sorry.
I think I can edit that out.
Okay. Hurry. Hey, you said I couldn't do that.
Well, I just did. You're gonna put the fire out.
Woo!
Oh, there it went.
Did that burn you?
No, it just scared me.
really did about the fire out.
These kids here like to start a lot of bonfires.
Excuse my
Oh,
phone.
look at those ones.
He's a fireman, but here he likes to start fires.
He's a fake fireman.
Sometimes on the deck. He almost
got to be a
almost
fireman.
yeah, before he was a fireman, he almost caught the deck on fire when I had him grill hamburgers.
Chip, watch out.
But we hadn't cleaned the grill in a while,
Excuse
so
my
it
phone.
had flames shooting out the bottom of the grill.
Don't show your belly.
This has been a very huge step for us to burn these
I
socks.
thought you were doing like that ball thing,
It really,
cradle.
it's very difficult for me, it's very emotional for me to actually part with those socks that might have been useful. We even saw a match in this fire as we were throwing those away. I missed it somehow. Goodbye, socks. We're here at the House That Never Slumbers, day 4, the end of day 4, where I'm now showing you this room. Used to be a complete disaster area of socks, and now we've managed to work our way down to just this small pile, and these are all socks that were brand new last Christmas or after, so we don't really want to throw those away yet if we don't have to. I think they might be in the kids' rooms, which they need to get all of the laundry out of the like corners of their room and behind their beds and everything, and then we'll maybe know if those are matches. So we're going to put these into the basket and put those aside, get them out of the way, and then hopefully we'll be able to find matches, or if we haven't found matches in, let's say, 2 months, we're going to go ahead and get rid of those too. And if you'll notice, outside we have the fire is still burning. That made a really nice fire out of all those socks. It's out back, still burning. I'm a little emotional about having to get rid of those socks that I've been hoarding for at least a decade. Yeah, this is probably some kind of 12-step program for me. And actually, I would have had trouble doing that, but at the last, when they had started the fire, my oldest daughter came in the room, and while I was trying to analyze which socks should go in the fire and which shouldn't, she just started throwing a bunch of those in there and saying, "Mom, we're throwing these away." So she helped me get rid of those socks. And it feels nice to have all of those socks out of here, but I'm already having a little bit of remorse that what if we find those socks, a match to those socks later. Just a lonely match when its pair has been thrown in the fire. I'm going to show you some of our sock organization system now. Since the two little girls share a lot of their socks, we've decided to not separate those into their individual bedrooms. So they have a place here for the socks that they share, and that way I just match those in the laundry room and I just throw them in these two drawers instead of trying to separate those out. And also the two guys, my son and son-in-law, have a lot of the socks that are the very same, because when my parents bought them socks for Christmas, they bought them packages of the exact same socks. So it's hard to know how to divide those out since they're black socks. I can't just mark the toes. I tried marking them with a silver Sharpie and that did not work. It faded pretty quickly. So we're just going to keep the socks that they have that are the same, these black Under Armour socks and black Nike socks. We're going to just keep those up here together so they can just grab socks. This is the door to the basement where the newlyweds live. So that means his socks are right here, and then the laundry room is right over to the left. So it's just easy to put the socks there instead of trying to take them to people's rooms. Here we are at the House That Never Slumbers with our final product of our sock taming project. This is our sock wall of shame. All these lonely single socks just looking for a perfect match. Will they find love? If you know of a sock that would be perfect for one of these socks, send us its online dating profile to our email address. Nah, just kidding. We would never do that to these socks because that would be dangerous. What if we sent them off to the sock Craigslist killer or something? I would never want to put these socks in danger. But maybe we'll just do, our next episode will be the Bachelor of Socks. We could probably make a show of that. These are our socks anyway. And these are the ones we have left. They're the ones that we think we might have some hope of still having the matches. We got rid of all the ones with holes. We matched everything that had a match. We got rid of any that had been in the basket for a decade or more. And these are just newer ones from like last Christmas or something. And we think they may still have matches in the kids' room. So we went ahead and saved these, but at least they're not in that basket all disorganized, and at least they're not in the way of the other laundry. And hopefully we'll find their matches soon. You've just watched our full-length feature film on the cleaning up of our socks, getting that situation under control. But our next project coming soon is going to be my closet, because my husband earlier this week called this Jumanji land, and when I had walked into my closet to put laundry away, he started grabbing my arm and trying to pull me out of there because he said I was going to get sucked into the jungle of Jumanji land after he looked at my closet. And this has been building for pretty much the whole time we lived here. And most of this stuff is not even mine. Most of this is stuff of the kids that I just don't even know what to do with, like these dance costumes. I mean, we don't really need to keep those, but I don't know what to do with those. So that's all stuff that I need to deal with. I mean, look, that's a box from diapers. And I mean, there aren't diapers in there, but there are different sizes of bags in there. But the last time we had diapers in this house was like a decade ago. Well, maybe 8 years ago. So that's been in there a long time. I actually love this closet though. Look, it's like a full walk-in closet. There's also a closet back there. It's really nice, and it's in this hallway. There's a closet on either side, so he has a closet as well that's just like mine. But see, his doesn't have nearly the stuff that mine does, but he also doesn't have a bunch of stuff of the kids is in here either. So we're gonna work through my closet next. We hope you'll join us for that film as well. look at some of the problems we have here. See, these drawers right here, these are pajamas, like mostly probably toddler pajamas, because the kids used to shower in the bathroom that's right here, and then they would just get their pajamas out of my closet. They haven't used these pajamas in probably at least 3 years, so it's time to get rid of those. We have clogging shoes from when they clogged, which isn't happening anymore because of other sports conflicting with that, so probably need to sell those shoes. There's just a lot of things in this closet that need to be dealt with, and so that video will be coming soon as we work through the nightmare that is my closet.